I went to the library,
Right.
to get a library card. The sunny side, not to dox our location.
Now, did you go just to get a library card?
Well, I didn't check out any books or anything at the time.
You go, I'm just here for the card. Just always wanted the card.
I browsed, but I didn't. Nothing struck my fancy. It was a nice day out, and I wanted to take a walk. It's been beautiful out.
Why not go to a dark, quiet library? No, so you walk to the library.
I walked
Nice
to the
day
library.
out.
I want to get a library card.
Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, madam.
That's what I did. I walked in. I go, excuse me, one library card, please. And the librarian goes, you have to go to the help desk. I go, okay.
Kind of thought I was at the help desk.
Well, it says librarian. I thought you were the helper. But no,
I thought you were good for anything at all. My mistake?
Nope. There's a. If I have any questions about the Dewey Decimal System, I'll come back here. No, so I went over to. There's a help desk, and I go, one library card, please. And she goes, okay. And do you have proof of a picture ID and proof of address? I go, yes, I do, my good ma'am. So I gave her that.
So you came prepared.
I came prepared.
Wow.
Yeah. So I gave her all that stuff, and she's typing it up. And while she's doing that, you know, the library, known to be a quiet place.
Quiet place. You can't, I mean, if you make so much as a peep,
Yeah.
they will come after you with everything they got.
Exactly. So while she's typing in my stuff, I hear a rattling of like something metal rattling.
That's no good. Not in a library.
No, not in the library.
Not in a library.
No, not at all. So I hear something rattling. I look over. It's a toddler. It's probably a 2-3-year-old kid.
He's toddling.
He's toddling. No, he's like grabbing onto like a book cart, a metal
Christ.
book cart,
Oh,
and he's
geez.
fucking shaking it.
Oh my God.
and the lady helping me says, "Hey, don't let him play with that." To the dad,
Yeah.
and the dad goes, "Oh, don't let him play with that." Yeah, don't let him play with the metal book cart filled with 200 pounds of books. It's not a toy.
Right.
That kid should be taken away from his parents.
Yeah. Don't let him play with that. I can't control him. He calls the shots. That's infuriating.
Yeah.
So,
I was pissed.
did she get up there and do something about it? What she did?
No, he picked the kid up, but it was just
it's not that hard.
Yeah. Oh, don't. It was like a shock that he wasn't supposed to play with it. Oh, don't let him play with that? I had no idea.
You know, parenting has got to be the easiest job in the world. I don't understand how these people keep fucking it up.
You would
left and
think
right.
it would be, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got to play with a child all day? That sounds like fun.
Right. An excuse to play with my old action figures and not look like a nerd, a loser.
Psychopath? Yeah. So I've got an infuriating one for you.
Yeah.
Last night, I go to meet friend of the show, welcome anytime, Lizzie Cassidy.
Yes, friend of the show. Welcome.
We get a bite to eat.
Welcome back anytime.
Welcome back anytime. We get a bite to eat. We're at this restaurant, this Thai place, and there's this guy sitting to the left of us, just by himself, eating by himself. He's got like a couple bags. One's like this like brown leather satchel, you know, and he's got this other bag, and he at one point he gets up and goes to the bathroom or somewhere, I assume, and he looks at me and says, "Watch my bags."
Fuck you.
He walks away. No, excuse me. No, hey, can you please watch my bags? Watch my bag. Yeah.
Watch my bags.
I go,
you look like a little bitch.
And he's already gone.
Oh my God.
I've never wanted somebody to come over and steal his bags more in my life.
Yeah.
I wanted to take a shit on both of them. I was furious.
Now, could you have left, or did you have the bill to pay?
We were in the middle of our meal.
In the middle of the meal.
If we could have left, I would have.
Oh yeah, I would have left.
I would have dined and dashed just to get away from his bags. Just anything. I want to take one and fucking throw it across the floor in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Fucking prick. Tell me to watch your bags.
That's insane.
What do you think this is?
That's absolutely insane.
Watch my bags. No. I believe my blood boil.
Oh yeah,
Curdle.
That would piss me off.
That
would really piss me off. Wow.
And he was British.
Oh,
they're all the same.
They are all the same.
Yeah.
We had a comment on TikTok. We talked about how British people are all pricks.
Yeah.
And they said British people are overwhelmingly nice. Americans are assholes.
Everyone's an asshole.
Everyone's an asshole, but I think British people are the accent makes it worse.
It makes it worse.
It's just condescending.
Pompous.
Americans are dumb assholes. British people
smart
are,
assholes.
Yeah.
That's no good.
I'd rather be a dumb asshole.
They're going to put that on my tombstone. It's going to go, here lies dumb asshole. Bit of a dumb asshole myself.
Well, do you want to explain to the dumb assholes what this podcast is?
I would love to. Well, welcome back if you're joining us again, or welcome to, for the first time, if you're just now joining us, to the Echo Chamber podcast, the only podcast where two comedians read the Wall Street Journal, because one of us gets it for free from work. And we'll never say which one it is.
We'll never tell.
Now, we've got a few stories we're going to each read and talk about today. Let's give you a little rundown of what we're going to talk about today. Trent, what do we got?
Well, Joe, grilling. It's not just for men anymore.
Bullshit. Not if I have anything to say about it.
They can't let us have one goddamn thing.
Well, you'd never believe it. At Dartmouth... Yeah. Even the basketball players are nerds.
Wow, you think you know somebody.
They voted to form a union.
The basketball union?
Yeah.
Just that team?
It's a college team.
Isn't the team already a union?
No, not in
a
labor sense.
Yeah,
legal but now that they get paid, they're unionizing.
They get paid.
They go, hey, we'll
get into it. I didn't know any of it.
Yeah, they get paid now.
Well, I didn't know that.
Oh, it's a mess.
Well, I hope they get paid a lot because inflation may have cooled, but the shoppers aren't feeling that.
Oh, you don't say. Well, maybe it's because all their money is going to sauce, Trent. Oh. That's right. America is swimming in sauce. We just can't get enough.
Yeah,
we just can't get enough.
Sometimes I get lost in the sauce.
I think the whole country is a little lost in the sauce right now. We'll get into it.
Wow,
too much sauce.
Wow. Well, it seems like it might be a sport-heavy episode. Rarely do we ever cover sports on here.
Yeah,
but
true.
two articles about sports.
Wow.
This about Kirk Cousins. He's making out like a bandit.
Yeah, he really is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Making out like a bandit. Yeah. What's he ever done?
Well, we'll get into that.
Besides grin.
You know what he's done? He's bet on himself.
He's bet on himself. That's the best you can hope to do. You know who's really going to have to bet on themselves, Trent? And this one might hit close to home for you.
Oh.
The burden of being an only child.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, what a burden it is.
What a burden it is. A burden that you may not have experienced all the way yet.
Oh, no.
That's right.
When my parents die, I'll be an orphan.
You're going to be in big trouble. Big trouble, young man.
Oh, no. Well, it's good to end on a happy note.
That's right. Oh, you don't have one after that?
Nope.
Maybe I'll do that one earlier. Maybe I'll end with sauce.
All right.
Because it is pretty bleak.
Oh, no. All right. Well, Joe, this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, okay.
Headline: It's not rocket science. Getting more women to embrace the grill.
Okay.
Backyards might be last cooking outposts.
Because God knows they can't do rocket science. I don't understand the headline.
The headline is demeaning. Because they made a movie, Hidden Figures, about they were black also. Black lady people, they sent us to the moon or something. I never watched the movie.
No, what am I, crazy?
But they did something with NASA. Backyards might be last cooking outposts for men, but chefs see room for change.
Jesus, get the chefs out of my yard.
Guys, they're coming for your tongs.
When will it end?
Backyard grilling, long the domain of serious men.
Kind of like us. You and me, we're two serious guys. Serious men.
Is now in the sights
serious black
of Gabby Dalkin, the popular Instagram chef with nearly 1 million followers, thinks anybody can do it. By anybody, she means women. Quote, many men who have watched me grill have asked if I'm many women, this is very important.
Yeah, big difference.
Many women who have watched me grill have asked me if I'm worried about lighting my eyebrows on fire.
No, you broad.
Says Dalkin, whose coming cookbook is called What's Gabby Cooking? Grilling All the Things.
Grilling All the Things?
Isn't that the lamest name for it?
Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah.
That stinks on ice.
Quote, they are intimidated by the grill. They need to learn how to turn it on.
They've always been intimidated by the darn grill. It must be the open flame.
The open flame, well, the open flame scares me, but I'm a bit of a woman.
Yeah, it's true. But, I mean, all bars aside, most men throughout history have been attracted to the open flame. We're all pyromaniacs.
Oh, fire.
We love fire.
Yeah.
But why is that? If there's a fire, every guy's got to... If somebody's building a fire...
Yeah. Every guy goes, you're not doing it right.
You're not doing it right. Yeah, you got to let... There's no oxygen.
Could be bigger.
And then you stand there and watch and go, jeez, really? Wow. No, yeah. Dude, let's stack them that way.
Right. Okay. Well, they also do that with the grill, too. Nobody's ever grilled anything right.
Everyone's a backseat griller.
Yeah, a backseat griller.
Yeah.
Well, the grill might be the last cooking outpost where men are firmly in control. Meathead Goldwyn.
Is total control too much to ask?
Yeah, we're not asking for a lot.
We're not asking for a lot. For thousands of years, all men have asked for one thing: total and complete control. You can have everything else. If you want to go shopping, fine. Take the credit card, clean me out.
Clean me the fuck out. Meathead Goldwyn, who's Pitmaster Club.
Sorry, did you say Meathead Goldwyn?
I believe it's the name of a company.
Okay.
It took me. I had to read it 3 times before. I thought it was a guy's name as well.
I was like, that rocks.
Yeah.
He's our king.
It's a company whose Pitmaster Club for grilling and barbecue enthusiasts has more than 15,000 paying members worldwide, says men represent 85% of membership.
Good.
Also, why? That's not shocking. No lady is going to subscribe to a barbecue grilling membership club.
Yeah, it's the saddest. It's such a dad thing.
Yeah. Quote, I'm not going... This is from Dalkin, the lady cook.
He said through gritted teeth.
Quote, I'm not going to buy a whole hog and do snout-to-tail grilling, says Dalkin, 37. I'll get some pork chops, brine them, throw them on the grill. In 20 minutes, I'm done. She says her audience, which she estimates is 75% women, can do the same. Abrams, Dalkin's book publisher, is printing 100,000 copies of Grilling All the Things.
Grilling All the Things.
A large commitment by today's standards. Men, says Holly Dulce, the book's editor, have created a mystique around grilling, so women leave it up to them. Quote, it's not rocket science to make steaks or grilled chicken, says Dulce. We've bought into the myth that this is hard.
Are we perpetuating this? Because I don't think
so.
Yeah.
I think this is we're kind of the new guard. We're not 40 years old.
Right
now, maybe our fathers were like, get the fuck away from me.
I think my dad probably.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing with this steak.
My dad was always in charge of the grill.
Yeah,
but he was not some great chef. He would pour Budweiser all over the chicken on the grill, and I always thought, what on earth could that be enhancing?
Right,
pouring Budweiser over an open flame on chicken.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Well, have you ever seen it's called beer can chicken, where they
I've heard about this.
Shove the can of beer up the chicken's ass?
Yeah, what is the point? What does that do? Gets it nice and lowers its inhibitions.
Yeah.
Hey, you shove a can of beer up my ass, you might be in for a pretty wild night, huh?
You said it, brother. Book tracker Circana Bookscan said 8,300 new cookbooks were published in 2023, of which 120 focused on grilling. Only 10 of those sold more than 1,000 print copies, and none was written by women. Isn't that the
wild.
Sad state of book publishing that only 10 sold more than 1,000 copies? We almost get 1,000.
It seemed like it would cost more to print those books.
Yeah.
If you're gonna print 1,000 books, that sounds like it costs like $1,000.
Right.
I don't see how you.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, books used to sell millions of copies.
Yeah. You used
Truman
to have
Capote in Cold Blood. There's a thing on the thing that says millions of copies sold.
Now, do you think it was on there when it first came out?
Maybe.
He goes, trust me.
Yeah, trust me. You got to bet on yourself.
Yeah, you got to bet on yourself, which we'll find out more about later.
Martha Stewart, we all know her, friend of the show, welcome anytime.
Yeah, my queen.
Sees plenty of room for women to grill, in part because many men aren't that great at it.
That's true. My dad.
Yeah. Quote, I watch men grill all the time, and they press that poor hamburger into the grill, taking away all the juice. Mm-hmm. Says Stewart, whose grilling cookbook published in 2019. You're ruining the meat, she adds. You just can't do that.
She's right. Anything Martha says is law in my house.
Yeah. Also, she's watching men. If you had Martha Stewart at your house, you go, honey, here's the tongs, take over.
Yeah. Who are these guys that are just grilling in front of her?
Yeah.
I'd be sweating bullets. Martha Stewart looking down the barrel of her nose at me. Good Lord. Oh, my God, the amount of pressure. If she walked into a room, I think my asshole would pucker. I would be like, my place is not tidied up at all.
No. Oh my God! If she walked in here, I'd
the
kill
judgment
myself.
That she bears demands so much respect.
Yeah,
and it's just I would be beside. Who could grill in front of her?
Oh my God, I couldn't either. My sweat would put out the flames.
Yeah.
Quote: There's always a group of women. This is from a lady who wrote a book, Elizabeth Carmel. She wrote a book in 2005 called "Taming the Flame." Quote, there's always a group of women who don't want to touch the grill because they feel they already do the majority of household chores.
See, yeah, that's another thing, because I feel like some women are like, well, I'm not grilling the damn meat. I've got enough going on in here as it is.
I got to fold the fucking laundry.
I got to make all the sides, potatoes, setting the table, putting ice in glasses. I mean, it never fucking ends in here.
Right.
You go out, at least you could do is throw some pork chops on the goddamn grill, have me brace the elements.
Right. Quote, but the majority of women I've come across in my career have embraced grilling once they start. So you never know. You got to start. You got to try new things, Joe. I've always said that. You know that about me. I go, you got to try new things.
And you always do. You're always experimenting.
I get out there. I try new things.
You really do. You're a man about town.
I'm a man about town. Backyard grilling as the centerpiece of outdoor entertaining caught fire in the 1950s when apartment dwellers moved to the suburbs. Says Megan J. Elias.
Life in the suburbs.
Says Megan J. Elias, director of food studies program at Boston University. Bullshit job. Men were in charge of the flames, the raw stuff, and the sharp knives, she said. That's what we like.
Danger.
Oh. One of America's best grilling authorities, Stephen Reichlin, we were all familiar. He's one of the best. He's the top.
He's the authority on grilling.
Yeah. Says he isn't worried about women taking his spot at the grill. Quote, in 2024, to claim...
blown out cigarette smoke. I ain't worried.
Quote, in 2024, to claim anything is a guy thing makes you look like a Luddite, he says. The more people who grill, the more books I'll sell.
Now, what is a Luddite?
Luddite is someone who's anti-technology.
Oh, that's me. I'm a bit of a Luddite myself.
I am too.
Yeah.
We would qualify as neo-Luddites because it's all like electronic and stuff. Luddites, they were like a thresher or stuff like that.
Okay, it was like back 300 years ago. They're like the cotton gin.
The cotton gin and stuff. They would come in late at night into the factories and stuff and fucking beat the shit out of stuff.
That rocks.
Yeah,
that's so barbaric.
The coolest
it's just
thing.
like what?
It's the best.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I respect them.
What do you mean horse-drawn carriages? Just breaking wheels off? Yeah. It's absolute fucking bullshit. I guess I'm a neo-Luddite. Yeah. No, I don't love being part of a subgroup with the prefix neo. Not crazy about that. But I knew it was kind of only a matter of time until I fell into neo of some kind. Not a bad neo to be compared to some of the other neos out there.
Some of the others are really bad.
Some of the other neos out there.
I would say a neo-Lidite's respectable. I mean, I don't understand how you couldn't be, really, but some people are very dumb.
Well, there might be a new subgroup in the men's college basketball world, or perhaps the college athletics world at large. A new little group of neos. And those are the folks who view what they do for the school as labor, Trent. Yeah, so this is from the Wall Street Journal. Oh. Dartmouth basketball votes to form a union. Wow. Form a union. Hanover, New Hampshire. The Dartmouth men's basketball team voted in favor of forming a union, a seismic move for college sports and its century-old insistence that athletes are playing, not working, when they compete for their schools. The National Labor Relations Board said Tuesday that 13 of the team's 15 players had voted in favor of joining the Service Employees International Union, and 2 had cast ballots against it. So fucking those. Then they got their knees broken right after. Conform or die. Quote, it's time for the age of amateurism to end, said Cade Haskins, a junior forward who serves as the team's union representative. Cade. Well, why don't you get a little bit better at basketball and then maybe
Cade, that's the guy. If I had to guess who the leader of the Dartmouth basketball team union's name was, I'd go Cade.
How white do you think he is? Like if you were in like a Home Depot and there was like a bunch of swatches of room colors,
yeah.
I think it would be
the furthest
fluorescent bright.
Yeah.
Cade at Dartmouth. It's time for the age of amateurism to end. What are you like a guy running for president in the 1890s in the back of a train? The epoch of amateurism.
Get paid with Cade.
Get paid with Cade.
Come on.
Yeah, we're giving him this shit for free. Yeah. We should be charging.
I'm sure he listens.
Yeah, he's probably a friend of the show. The election was ordered by the NLRB's regional director, Laura Sachs, who had concluded that players are employees, quote, because Dartmouth has the right to control the work performed by the Dartmouth men's basketball team, and the players perform that work in exchange for compensation. That decision followed a memo from the NLRB's general counsel in September 2021, setting out her position that college players are employees under the National Labor Relations Act. So if you don't know about this, a couple of years ago, they decided that college athletes need to be compensated.
I didn't know that. I know they were talking about it. I didn't know it was passed into law.
It was, it might just be kind of like a ruling or whatever. I don't know if that's really codified as this.
Oh, yes.
But as it stands now, that's kind of the memo. Well, what does that mean exactly?
Sure, that's what I'm asking.
They're still figuring it out. The NCAA has expressed concern, issuing a statement that, quote, the NCAA is making changes to deliver more benefits to student athletes, including guaranteed health care and guaranteed scholarships. But the NCAA and student athlete leadership from all three divisions agree college athletes should not be forced into an employment model. In the grand scheme of college basketball, the team, that is the Dartmouth team, is an unlikely candidate to make waves.
Right. Yeah.
You never guess, but the team that decided to unionize, not a big contender this year. Yeah. With a record of 5-21.
Really?
5-21.
Oh, man.
Entering Tuesday's play, the Big Green ranks 337th out of...
That's their name?
I think that's like maybe the nickname.
What is the mascot? What is the name? What is the actual name? Does it say?
I believe the mascot is a trust fund kid. Is somebody whose rent is.
But what you don't know that doesn't say in there like.
No, well, it's like an Ivy League Dartmouth. I think it's Big Green. Maybe it's Irish or something. Catholic, Irish Catholic or something like that. I don't know, leprechaun, some bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, they rank 337th out of 362 teams in the NCAA's NET ranking. The team hasn't finished a season with a winning record since the 1998-1999 season and hasn't appeared in the NCAA tournament since grilling was invented in 1959.
Wow.
Yeah. What is more, Dartmouth's players aren't even on athletic scholarships, which aren't offered in the Ivy League. Their starting five are far more likely to become bankers than professional ballers.
Sure.
So all these fucking nerds, hey, ho. They're getting their ass kicked every Sunday, and they go, enough is enough.
Yeah. I can't take it anymore.
We're going to unionize.
Wow. Now, do you think college athletes should be paid, Joe?
I think that they just need to call it what it is, and let's not pretend these people are there getting an education. Yeah. And you should be able to major in basketball and then have to do like a couple basic classes or whatever.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't make them be like, oh, you're going to be like, and I'm going to major in accounting.
Right.
And then also have this rigorous thing where like 8 nights out of the week, you got to go fucking practice.
Yeah.
And then they got some fucking nerd over there who's doing all your assignments and handing you papers. Remember, number 3 is C. And then you have to fucking do that and go in and run in and take a test and then run out and catch a plane to the next tournament. It's too much for these kids.
Too much.
It's too
you
much.
Can't do it.
Let them, their thing should just be basketball.
Right.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing, as far as I can tell.
It's not like they're going to go become... It's not like they're going to use that degree for anything. They don't know what the fuck they did.
Right.
They don't remember a single question.
No, they're going to open up a car dealership.
Yeah, exactly. Well, unless they unionize. But the NCAA and its member schools insist that athletes aren't employees and predict a wave of negative consequences if they suddenly are subject to federal labor laws. In recent months, they have paraded athletes. And by the way, they cap the money they give these kids to like $5,000 a year. It's like, yeah. So it's like something, but it's not much. In recent months, they have paraded athletes on Capitol Hill to describe how they don't see themselves as employees. Now, that's pretty degrading. We're going to take a trip to D.C., and you're going to go around and talk about how you're not an employee. You're a serf. All right. And warned a decision on the contrary could trigger disastrous cuts in college athletic departments that would wipe out many smaller sports programs. So basically, if you have to pay all these kids a full salary, then you're gonna have to wipe out tennis, golf.
Right. Yeah, you'll cut all the
bridge clubs gone. Chess. Done.
All the nerds stuff.
Ceramics done. Yeah, it's always
They'll
the
keep
first to go.
basketball and football and tell everything else to fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. They can put the nerds back in the fucking locker where they belong. Dartmouth basketball players beg to differ. With Tuesday's vote, the basketball players will organize a chapter of SEIU Local 560, which also represents dining hall workers at the university. An immediate appeal would be heard by the board, the NLRB's 5-person panel based in Washington, D.C. Further challenges would be heard in federal appellate court and could go all the way to the Supreme Court.
Wow. The Supreme Court. The infallible court.
The infallible court.
Never gotten anything wrong.
With 9 perfect judges, many of whom are, like me, champions of beer.
Wow. Well, I hope they get, I don't know. I hope they get a little something, but you know.
I guess I'm thinking, I'm like, aren't these guys just doing this because they're bad at basketball and they have nothing else to do?
Right.
You know, you're in an Ivy League school. How bad do you need more than $5,000? You have a trust fund.
That's true.
You're rich.
That's true.
You're
Fuck them all.
What are you telling me? You're a working class guy at Dartmouth?
Yeah,
I find that hard to believe.
You're right.
And you know how to form a union? And you're 19.
Yeah, you're right.
You're 19.
If you need the money, you have no idea how to form a union.
Yeah, exactly.
You're 100%.
The guys who really need to be unionized don't even know where to begin.
Yeah. Don't even know where to start. Yeah, they have no idea.
Come on, man. Come on.
Wow.
Not these nerds who are in the library like, I'm filing chapter 590.
Yeah. Well, these people, they probably aren't affected by this coming story, Joe.
Oh, okay.
This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh.
Inflation cooled, but shoppers are sweating $7.99 deodorant.
Oh, God.
Deodorant was what changed Rob Cooper's mind about the economy.
Deodorant. He's going home. He's banging his fist on the table. Deodorant.
God damn it. After paying under $4 for his signature Old Spice Stronger Swagger for a decade. By the way, deodorant names are horrendous. It's the most embarrassing
He
thing.
deserves to be pushed up against the wall for buying this product.
Deodorant names they're so embarrassing.
Also, when anybody tells me the price of something, like I'm supposed to be outraged, I kind of, like, I believe that it's crazy, but part of me is like, I'm not really sure what that costs. That might be the right cost for that.
Right. This is what I've never understood, because I rarely notice the price of things.
No, me neither. I don't look at it.
Couldn't tell you. That's Price is Right. Oh, I'd be horrendous.
Yeah, I'd commit suicide publicly.
I'd commit suicide
Blow
in
my
front
brains
of
out.
the big wheel.
Yeah.
Drew Carey's.
They go, how much do you think this banana's worth? And I would pull a revolver out of a brown bag and I'd put it in, like that congressman did.
Yeah.
But no, people go, like, you go home and your mom's like, went to the store, milk, $4.99.
Right.
And I'm going, what was it before?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. But apparently, he used to pay $4 for Old Spice Stronger Swagger.
So it went up $2.
No, it went up
$3.
Well, almost $4. Almost doubled.
Is it $6.99?
$7.99.
Oh, wow.
Doubled.
Okay, that's
doubled in price.
That's outrageous.
That's outrageous.
Did they even add any swagger to it?
There's extra swagger.
Oh, that's not bad.
Quote, my brain just cannot rationalize paying twice as much, said Cooper, the Ambler, Pennsylvania-based financial officer of a retail chain. Bullshit, John. Quote, it doesn't feel right. A years-long run of higher prices has unmoored many consumers' expectations of what daily purchases should cost, from a cup of coffee to a package of paper towels. Shoppers are also put off by paying the same or higher prices for smaller amounts of stuff, what's known as shrinkflation. Now, that's what pisses me off.
What is that now? Explain that to me one more time.
Shrinkflation?
Shrinkflation.
Well, you buy a package of Girl Scout cookies.
Right.
Used to be, there was 4 rows of cookies.
Right.
Now they've cut it down to 2.
Yeah.
But it's the same price.
I love yelling that into the girl's face.
She's outside of the grocery store.
There's only 2 rows.
Used to be 4.
Used to be 4. She's crying.
And it's your fault.
Oh, you're crying. How do you think I feel?
Yeah, my wallet's crying.
Take your money, scram!
Altogether, researchers said people no longer feel they're getting the value they once did, and that is souring the national mood.
We always talk about the national mood. Like there's some national mood board. Have you noticed the national mood has been a little sour lately? It must be the rising price of Old Spice swagger deodorant.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame we don't live on Saturn. Because,
is that right?
Yeah, well, because there's a big ring. It'd be easier to tell with a big national mood ring.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Wow, really didn't know where you were going with that one.
Was it worth it? Probably not. The pace of inflation.
You have to write that one down.
The pace of inflation has slowed to 3.2% from its recent peak in June 2022, according to the Labor Department. But prices are still rising, just at a slower rate. They remain markedly higher than they were before the pandemic began, and consumers' expectations for how much goods and services should cost haven't caught up. Expecting to see one total at checkout, then paying far more, is contributing to a disconnect. Widespread malaise in an otherwise strong economy, economists and consumers said.
Have you heard of the Chex Mix test? Have you heard about
the
this?
Chex Mix test? Well, I've heard of the orange peel test.
Well, I guess this isn't really a test. It's more of like a study.
Yeah.
They look at the price of Chex Mix at every, airport, store, and everywhere, like around the country.
Yeah.
To see who's got, and it's crazy. It ranges from truly like $1.99 to like $11.99 for the same bag of Chex Mix.
Yeah.
Around the country.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I was in JFK. It was $9.99. It was $10.99 for a bag of Chex Mix.
Wow.
I was outraged.
GFC.
I went to the clerk. I said, $10.99? $10.99. She goes, excuse me. I just kept repeating it. I go, $10.99.
Wow. I haven't heard that. I don't know. That's crazy. In St. Louis, Dan Crayer said the dry cleaner is where he feels the greatest sticker shock. The price to clean a single dress shirt has nearly tripled from $1.50 in 2020 to $4 last month. It used to be an expense you didn't think about, said 59-year-old mergers and acquisitions advisor. Bullshit job. Now it hurts.
It hurts.
It hurts him. It hurts him.
This guy
to
goes
get his shirts dry clean.
Real agony. The guy going to the dry cleaner 6 times a week. You've got a decent job if you're going to the dry cleaner.
Yeah.
If you have to wear a dress shirt,
right?
Unless you're like what is it called? Where
I'd venture to say this: nobody struggling is going to the dry cleaner.
Yeah, exactly. and if you
they
are,
throw it in the wash with everything else.
If you are, you're doing everything wrong.
Yeah. You
think that you need to wear these shirts, you probably don't.
Right.
I don't know what your job is. Yeah. Unless you're what's the thing where they move the car around for people?
A valet.
A valet. Sometimes those guys have to get all dressed up.
They do have to get all dressed up. Yeah.
But they get tipped.
They get they get tipped and it all evens out.
So why am I tipping?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it should all even out. No. Mary Kay Owen started listening in on company earnings calls to try to figure out why she continues to pay so much for staples like milk, up 20% between February 2020 and February 2024, and pet food, up 21%. Quote, it's unfair and it's not sustainable.
Life's
and nobody
not fair.
will explain it, said Owen, a 65-year-old substitute teacher. in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. She's also frustrated by shrinkflation in the form of nearly empty bags of chips. They must be sprinkling gold flakes in or something, she said.
These people are idiots. If you really wanted to know why, it's not that hard to find out. You can look into why there's inflation, and supply chain issues and global warming are all, adding to the cost of production for everything.
Yeah, but it is annoying to...
No, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And it stinks.
Okay, it was. Yeah, everything sucks.
Everything sucks.
Well, that's the thing is it all went up during the pandemic because everything is the pandemic's fault. We know that.
Yeah, we know that.
But
it's Biden's economy.
Once it goes up, rarely ever does it come down.
Inflation. There's never been deflation.
Yeah.
They don't even have a word for it.
No,
not once in our history has there ever been deflation.
No, not it. Because they realize, people will pay this, so why bring it down?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why would you ever bring it down?
Yeah.
It'll only go up. Well, I think when there is deflation, they talk about it, but no one gives a fuck because why would anybody care?
Right.
But they go, the economy is a mess. There's deflation, and people are going, for who? Is it a mess? The milk? The big milk? Got milk? Well, I don't have $4.99. That's what I don't got. Well, they're feeling the pinch, but you know who's really feeling the pinch out there, Trent?
Uh-oh.
It's one of my hit very close to home for you.
Uh-oh.
The only children of America. This from the Wall Street Journal, the Personal Journal.
Oh, the Personal, one of our favorite sections.
One of our favorite sections, coming at us with a sort of a bleak story here.
Oh, no.
Burden of being an only child. When the lives of Lori Hanasco's parents unravel,
I know her.
So does her own. Yeah, you guys all know each other, right? You keep in touch. You keep in touch. Her 89-year-old father fell when taking out the garbage the day after Christmas and broke his hip. He is now in a personal care home. Weeks later, her 84-year-old mother fell in her bathroom and remains in the hospital. They're dropping like flies, her parents. Lori visits both each day after work. She takes care of bills and calls to the doctor and social workers. She paid for her father's care by emptying her small savings account. Quote, I have no brothers or sisters to take turns with me, says Lori, 49. You see, Trent, Lori is an only child.
Yep.
The family type is becoming more common, with about 22% of women at the end of their childbearing years having an only child, double the 11% in 1976, according to a 2015 Pew Research Center report.
Wow.
Absolute bullshit. They need to keep cranking them out. Only children have no siblings. That's an insane thing to say.
Is that what really?
Yeah, have no siblings to share the responsibility of caring for their aging parents. The isolation takes a toll emotionally and financially. I'm sure you know that.
Jeez.
You've been sort of isolated your whole life.
I've been isolated, sure, but luckily my parents are in good health. Knock on wood.
For now,
until I reach the age of 49,
and then you're fucked. And you move back home to Franklin, Indiana, and you'll be wheeling your dad in and out of a... what are you going to do, Trent?
God.
Now, tell me this. Is this something you've ever given any consideration to or really thought about at all? Cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah. Well, you hope that their siblings will step up.
Well, the thing is, they're going to be the same age.
Well, yeah, but they're a little younger. Some of them are a little younger, maybe by that time, hopefully, I'll have a kid that'll take over.
So you're hoping that
I'm hoping
either their siblings or your children, you think your kids are gonna take care of Grandpa?
Yeah, why not?
And you go, not for me. Why don't you guys? You can also just dip out of the responsibility.
Sure,
why not that? Now you, of course, would probably take care of your mom, but as we all know, dads, I'm lucky. My dad already
died, yeah.
And my mom's a health nut.
No, I would take care of both of them. I actually, I lived... Now, I think we may have discussed this before, but I lived across the road from my grandpa growing up.
So did I.
Oh, really?
I lived down the hill with my grandma and grandpa.
It
was the best.
Yeah, it was the best. Mine was right across the road. Yeah. And he, in his old age, I believe he lived into his 80s.
Yeah.
He could barely walk. I had to drive him to the hospital a few times, pick him up and stuff. I helped out. It was all right.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. Now... It's a little harder now that I live
in New York.
I don't live right across the street.
But also, it does seem like back in the day, you had a decrepit older family member with dementia and they're falling down. You just put them in the house in a rocking chair and forget about them. And then you throw them a meal out a couple times a day.
Sure.
Now everybody's, I'm driving them to the hospital and calling them to the family. I mean, it's too much. I mean, just put them in the rocking chair and forget about it. That's what they did for 1,000 years. I think we're making it harder than it needs to be, quite frankly.
Right.
Yeah. My stepdad's going to be in a rocking chair, and when he moans and groans, I'm going to go, Pa, shut the fuck up! Shut up, Pa! That's what it used to be.
Yeah. This is probably paid for by some nursing home group or something.
Yeah, some bullshit. That's what the personal journal is. It's just a paid ad.
Yeah.
Well, with only children, they say it's vital that they seek help. Have you sought help?
I'm doing the work.
You're doing the work. Well, she recommends connecting with other caregovers through support groups and building a team of understanding friends.
Yeah, my aunts and my own son.
I love the idea of you skirting this off on other 80-year-olds and like a 17-year-old. A ragtag team of two 80-year-old women and one 17-year-old boy.
Listen, son. You
Move to Franklin, Indiana.
You gotta... You gotta take care of Grandpa.
Sorry, son.
I got spots to the pair. Right?
I got an audition at the comedy strip. The comic strip. I've been waiting 30 years for this audition. I'm not gonna...
I waited in line in the year 2021. They kept pushing it back, so...
Yeah, so what am I going to do? For an only child, the responsibility can mean dropping everything when a parent becomes sick.
Yeah.
You might have to drop it all, the auditions and everything, unless you have your ragtag team of people ready to go. Even before their recent medical problems, Lori was caring for them. She made trays of lasagna, so they had leftovers to freeze. You thought about that? You gotta make lasagna, Trent. You gotta learn how to cook. These GLMs aren't gonna cut it. You gotta have recipes.
I have to up my subscription.
Yeah, I'm alone. Yeah, I need the dying parents only child plan. Quote, I'm alone. There's no one else to do it, says Lori, who is married and childless. Well, she's going to be even more fucked.
Yeah, she's fucked. This is her problem. She's got to have a kid.
Yeah, she's going. It's
too late now.
So
she's 49.
Hard on me. Yeah. She's 49. She's got no kids. It's like you think you got it bad. Wait till you're old, and then
she's got nobody.
You got nobody. Yeah. Then you're gonna be fucking wheeling yourself across the highway to the hospital, across the freeway with cars going like. and you got lasagna dribbling down your fucking
frozen lasagna.
You're having a seizure in the middle of the highway trying to get to the hospital.
Oh God.
Well, part of the problem too, Trent, is that a lot of this would be more manageable if you had power of attorney over your parents' finances. POA over your parents' finances.
Yeah.
Which could allow you to pay for
rob them blind
and pay for their own demise with their own money, as it should be. Well, years ago, Lori apparently they only interviewed one person about all this.
Yeah.
Years ago, Lori brought her parents a book about the importance of making wills and advance directives.
What a shitty thing to buy somebody.
Yeah, a book. That's kind of a passive-aggressive. Why don't you just sit them down with a conversation? Recently, she found it in a drawer, still in a protective wrapper. Her parents go, yeah, thanks. Chuck that in the fucking drawer where it belongs.
This book sucks.
Yeah.
She's luckily kept it at all.
Yeah.
I would have thrown it directly in the trash, right in front of her fucking face.
As a result, her parents don't have a will, and they retain power of attorney. But they got dementia, and they're going, what? And then
that's brutal, yeah.
Yeah, and then the hospital's going, that'll be $19,000. Which be like, Dad. Okay, I guess I'll pay for it.
Oh man!
And then meanwhile, she goes home and sees that book collecting dust.
It's brand new. The spines.
No, it still has the plastic wrapping over it.
Spines in perfect shape.
Yeah, it's never been cracked into.
Unlike her father's spine.
Unlike her father's spine. Well, anyway, she used all of her savings account and...
Jeez, they cleaned her the fuck out.
They cleaned her the fuck out. Ends up with her crying.
Oh. She's not married or anything. She's unwed.
She's married. But she's childless. Which, I don't want to get political, but in my opinion, kind of should be against the law. I think if you're going to marry somebody... Just kidding. Little joke. Yeah,
just a little joke. That's we like to have fun.
We like to have fun and joke around on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you know who's somebody who probably will never have to worry about money again a day in his life. This is from bandit. The Wall Street. He is making out like a bandit.
Yeah, what a son of a bitch.
It's really impressive.
He's won one playoff game his whole life.
Well, This is from the Wall Street Journal. Headline, the NFL quarterback who gamed the system.
They should unionize against him.
And hit the jackpot.
Wow, that's an aggressive...
Kirk Cousins has spent years betting on himself. Now he's landed another huge contract in free agency after agreeing to a 4-year, $180 million deal with the Atlanta Falcons.
That's wild.
The player who hit the jackpot when NFL free agency began this week doesn't look like the most desirable acquisition.
He's like 39.
He's 35, recovering from a devastating injury, and has never been considered one of the best players at his position.
No, he's like a middle of the pack quarterback.
But reliable starting quarterbacks hit free agency so rarely that Kirk Cousins is landing a mega deal anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good quarterback these days.
They don't make them like they used to.
No, except for my king.
Well, we get into that.
Oh.
What's more, this isn't the first time he has played his way into riches by taking a path that few passers have ventured down.
Wow.
Cousins is the unicorn quarterback who keeps hitting the open market.
Bit of a unicorn.
He's a bit of a unicorn. Used to be a Viking.
Unicorn, I believe that's somebody who has sex with a couple.
That is, yes.
Yeah. That's kind of what he's doing with the NFL. He's dropping in and gobbling up all the cum.
Yeah. Cousins, who has played for the Minnesota Vikings for the past 6 years, is now an Atlanta Falcon after agreeing to a 4-year, $180 million deal with the club. That will add to his $231 million in career earnings.
Wow.
A sum that makes a quarterback with one career playoff win the 11th highest paid player in NFL history.
Hey, Kurt, don't spend it all in one place.
And one who in a few years now projects to vault into the top three. Top three highest players of all time.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane.
The reason Cousins has become so fabulously wealthy isn't because he's one of the premier players at the game, at the game's most important position. It's because he isn't.
Interesting.
The best quarterbacks in the NFL seldom become unrestricted free agents, where they could realize their true value in a bidding war, because teams lock them down before that could ever happen. The Kansas City Chiefs, your team, inked a 10-year deal with Patrick Mahomes when he was 24 years old. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts each briefly became the league's highest paid player last year when they inked extensions with their clubs. Tom Brady, friend of the show, welcome anytime, became a free agent for the first time in his career at the ripe old age of 42.
Now, Tom Brady used to be a quarterback, correct?
He used to be a quarterback football player.
Right.
He used to play for the Patriots, and then he played for the Buccaneers.
The Bucks.
Now he makes Dunkin' Donuts commercials.
Okay, yeah. I knew him from the Dunkin' stuff. Yeah. I didn't know about anything.
Quote, most players will never bet on themselves, and Kirk Cousins always bet on himself.
What does that mean to bet on oneself?
Says Mike Tannenbaum. Well, we'll get into that. Okay. A former general manager in the league. He's by far the best quarterback on the planet available, and because of that, he's going to get rewarded. From the outset of Cousins' NFL career, he was supposed to be a backup. Washington selected him in the 4th round of the same 2012 draft, in which they used the 2nd overall pick to pick Robert Griffin III.
Robert Griffin.
Who didn't really work out. After an injury derailed Griffin's career, Cousins took hold of the starting gig and was surprisingly impressive. Washington went 9-7 when he led the league in completion percentage.
9-7 is not that impressive.
No,
it's like almost 500.
That came at a critical moment because Cousins' career had largely consisted of riding the bench before that season. He hadn't been signed to an extension. His breakout occurred right as he was set up to become a free agent. Washington had a way to stop him from getting away. The team stuck Cousins with a franchise tag, a 1-year deal that teams can use to retain a free agent by making him one of the top paid players at their position.
Wow.
After another solid season in 2016, Washington franchise tagged him again.
Wow.
Which came with a 20% pay increase to nearly $24 million.
My God.
All along, Cousins was playing his way onto the open market.
Wow.
Tagging him for a 3rd straight year would have driven his cost up 44% more.
Wow, he's driving up. He's overinflating his worth.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Washington was left with little choice but to let Cousins test free agency. That's where Cousins found an insatiable appetite
For money and power
for
and
someone,
sex.
for someone who had played well, but also possessed a career losing record.
Yeah, there's never been a single return on this investment for anybody.
No, but
and they can't get enough.
Out of all the shitty quarterbacks, he's the least shittiest.
It's crazy.
And he's the one that's willing to go into free agency to
rack up the fucking cash.
To rake it in like a fucking money-grubbing bandit.
It's crazy how there's only 6 guys on the whole planet who could do this position well.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are fucking hacks. And they get paid $1 trillion just for being middle of the pack. Okay.
Yeah. Viable quarterbacks reach free agency so infrequently that Cousins was the hottest player in football when he landed with the Vikings in 2018. His 3-year, $84 million deal made him the game's highest paid player.
God damn.
Moreover, the contract was groundbreaking because it was fully guaranteed. Cousins had struck gold.
They said, clean me out.
Not by being the best quarterback, but by taking a path that those quarterbacks eschew. Cousins was playing some of his best football this past year when he came up limp after a play. Cousins had torn his Achilles.
Oh, the dreaded Achilles.
And his season was over. It turned out that this was his final game with the team. When Cousins signed an extension to stay with the Vikings, it was structured to prevent him from keeping him the way Washington once had by deploying the franchise tag. If the team couldn't agree to an extension with him, he would get to hit free agency again.
My God. You know, the Achilles was the Greek god Achilles?
Yes.
That was his one weakness, was his Achilles. And they go, I tore my Achilles.
Yeah, it's weird how that works out.
It is weird.
It's also weird that Lou Gehrig got Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah, that must have been a weird conversation in the hospital, the doctor's office.
Cousins hit the market at a time when it was never better to be a free agent. This guy is the luckiest man in the world.
He's the luckiest man in the world.
Now, I know Lou Gehrig said he was the luckiest man in the world.
But let's be honest.
Well, let's be honest. I think it's Kirk Cousins.
He had kind of the worst disease imaginable.
The worst disease imaginable. Kirk Cousins was the real luckiest man in the world. The NFL salary cap for this upcoming season increased by a record amount to $255.4 million. Suddenly, any team interested in Cousins had more money to spend on him.
What?
Then, less than 3 hours after teams were allowed to negotiate with free agents, the Falcons scooped him up. Atlanta had been favored to land his services as a team rich with offensive weapons that has been held back by poor quarterback play.
This could be their year.
Cousins' deal will send him further up the NFL's all-time earning list, which is a who's who of recent all-time greats. After just one season, he'll pass Peyton Manning and possibly Drew Brees.
Wow.
If he sticks around for another couple years, he's poised to leapfrog another whose postseason record was a little bit better than one career win. Cousins will wind up making more on the gridiron than Tom Brady.
That's crazy. Tom Brady had 34 postseason wins.
Yeah.
7 of which were Super Bowls.
No.
This guy's won one game in the postseason. I think he's like 1 in 18 in the playoffs.
Oh, he's my hero.
He's amazing. He proves that you can phone it in.
Yeah.
He's the ultimate work from home guy. I'm just coasting every day.
And you just rake it in.
It seems like he's been quiet quitting for a long time.
He was the original quiet quitter, yeah.
He's like the guy they just keep promoting for no reason in a company.
Yeah. And then he's eventually the head of the company.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a fucking bandit.
Oh.
And he's okay with this.
Yeah.
He has no trouble getting to sleep at night. What
if he was like, guys, I don't know.
There's poor kids at Dartmouth who can't even afford a cup of pudding at night, and this guy's making $800 million a year. What a monster.
Yeah.
Well, he's swimming in cash, Trent.
Oh.
But the rest of the country,
not so good.
Swimming in sauce. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Yes.
Our last article. This is probably one of my favorites of my few here. This is headline. The headline is America is swimming in sauce. Companies pour on condiments, dividing homes.
Yeah.
Right? Bored with leftovers or your go-to menu picks? There's a sauce for that. Or 2, or several dozen. Food companies and restaurant chains are flooding U.S. consumers with condiments, delighting some and drowning others, sometimes in the same household. Oh. Jack in the Box worked with a Michelin-starred chef to formulate its bottled, quote, munchy sauce.
Can Can I say something about Jack in the Box?
Yeah.
Have you been to a Jack in the Box?
I only drunk in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I loved it but I was always inebriated.
That makes sense. I now in Indiana there's a Jack in the Box, and I would go every year. I would try it out. I would think
Give it another shot.
I would give it another shot because you hear people talking about Jack in the Box.
They talk about it like it's the greatest thing that ever happened.
And it always sucked cock. And I always
Maybe you had a bad Jack in the Box.
I could have had a bad Jack in the Box.
You may have had a bad one.
may have had a bad.
I feel the same way about Shake Shack. When Shake Shack came to Kansas City, I mean, people's skirts were blown up like Marilyn Monroe on Hollywood Boulevard. It was like the biggest thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
They go, "What is Shake Shack? Do you hear Shake Shack?"
Yeah.
And I got it, and I go, "Yeah, it's a fucking cheeseburger. Who gives a shit? It tastes like anything else."
Well, that's the thing. Cheeseburger, rarely ever is it anything other than fine.
It's got a high floor and a low ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People claim to have the best cheeseburger in the world. You try it? Yeah, it's fine.
It's got a high floor and a low ceiling. Kirk Cousins has no ceiling. Well, Jack in the Box worked out to formulate the Munchie sauce.
Munchie sauce.
Meanwhile, ketchup kingpin Kraft Heinz.
Yes.
Over the past year has debuted at least a dozen new sauce-related products, including steak drops modeled on limited edition sneaker releases.
Jesus Christ.
PepsiCo released a soda-infused Pepsi Cola Chup,
What?
which is a terrible name. It's like a ketchup cola. While Popeyes went for truffle sauce to class up its chicken sandwich. The Deluge has...
Class it up.
the CEO walks in. Class this place up. The Deluge has poured chaos on the Maidens, an Illinois family whose refrigerator...
The Maidens?
The Maydans in the family in Illinois whose refrigerator recently held 3 kinds of mayonnaise, at least 7 barbecue sauces, 3 horseradishes, 3 mustards, A1 steak sauce, cocktail sauce, Filipino care sauce, and Indian tikka masala sauce.
Ooh.
Jeanette Maiden said her husband Artem regularly deploys
Artem Maiden?
Artem Maiden, a sauce enthusiast who regularly deploys around a half dozen at once at meals. Quote,
that's too many.
That's crazy. He gets a separate plate out and makes piles of each of the sauces
like an art easel
on a plate like a painter's palette.
Wow, that's what I meant.
He said, the easel palette, easy to mix up. Easy to mix up.
Well, now I'm no artist. Well, I have the idea in my head of what it is.
I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts. Yeah. I was classically trained at the Kansas City Arts Center, sort of a classically trained fine artist. Yeah. And the one thing I walked out of there knowing was the difference between a palette and an easel.
An easel is what holds the painting.
There's no easel is what holds the canvas.
That's what I meant. Yeah, the canvas. You put the paint. You put the canvas on there, and then you paint, and then that's what holds it up. We don't need to get into it.
Listening to you try to explain this is beneath me. I am a Bachelor of Fine Arts, endowed with authority by a certified institute to be better than you and look down my nose at you. Maiden is the wife, I believe, who believes... Oh, no, this is the guy who believes food should be able to be... Oh, no, sorry. My bad. This is the wife. This is the wife. The last name is no good here.
No.
The wife believes food should be able to be eaten unadorned. What a bitch. You don't need sauce.
She's totally anti-sauce.
She's anti-sauce.
Well, they say opposites attract. I mean,
I bet she probably doesn't give head either. We're going to have bland chicken tonight, and then we'll have missionary sex.
That's another sauce she doesn't like.
And the Maiden family is sort of a sad state of
It's hard to keep track of the wife. She's a maiden.
She's a maiden. Yeah, she's a bit of a fair maiden. Well, she says her husband's sauce habit was tolerable when they lived in a home with multiple refrigerators. Now that they are down to just one, due to inflation, things are getting out of control. I want my fridge back, she said. Kraft Heinz, maker of A1 steak sauce, as if that's the main thing they're known for, and Miracle Whip, last year began dropping limited edition sauces at chicken joints nationwide, including a brewery mustard, quote, ale aroma and hoppy background, and yuzu wasabi, creamy with bright citrus notes. Yuzu. The company is seeking to turn restaurant condiment counters into R&D outposts and is peddling eateries its new Heinz Remix customizable sauce dispenser.
This is another...
We're lost in the sauce.
It's another example we have too many options now.
Too many options.
It's like TV channels. There used to be 4 channels. That's the only options you had to watch TV.
Well, we're Luddites. We're sort of neo-Luddites.
Yeah, we're neo-Luddites.
I'm a neo-Luddite.
It's too much. There's so many. There's options. McDonald's has all these options of bullshit. You get chicken McNuggets or a cheeseburger. That's all. You don't need anything else. It's all done poorly now because there's too much stuff. It's too much stuff.
There's too many.
It's too much.
It was a problem they ran into with Barbie when they had a Barbie for every race, every gender.
Yeah.
And then finally that guy went in and he goes, "We don't need Asian Barbie, right? We don't need gay Barbies. Let's make them white." And they turned the whole business around. They made $1 million. Yeah. And people went, "What a breath of fresh air. Barbie's back." Well, using a digital touchscreen, diners can mix
fuck the digital touchscreen too.
a base ketchup like ranch or barbecue sauce with enhancers such as jalapeno, smoky chipotle, buffalo, and mango.
They made a condiment freestyle machine?
Yeah. Imagine being the asshole sitting there at the Sonic you're dining in. You got the touchscreen. I'll use ketchup as my base. I'll add jalapenos.
Oh, jeez.
You're on a first date with a girl. You're mixing your sauce.
Oh, God.
And she's looking at you like you're crazy, and you go, "I'm sorry, did you want to dine al fresco? Is that
Nice day. I would love to dine al fresco.
I thought we could dine al fresco at Sonic and perhaps customize our sauce." What do you say? Some are going upscale. Popeye's chicken sandwich got gussied up with a black truffle-infused mayo.
When I think of class, I think of Popeyes.
Yeah, that's right, with truff, which bills itself as a maker of, quote, luxury condiments and sells a 3-pack of its hot sauces and oil in a, quote, gorgeous matte and black gold tinfoil VIP box.
Wow.
At Popeyes.
Wow.
A place where poor people go to live classy.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people think it would be a Chili's or an Applebee's. No.
No. Well, adding sauce doesn't always go smoothly, Trent. Nor does getting off the sauce.
What's that?
Nor does getting off the sauce.
Oh, getting off the sauce.
As we all know, getting off the sauce is sort of a struggle in its own.
Putting cold turkey.
You're not going to get out as easy as you got in. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Cold turkey, unadorned with sauce. Taco Bell's Carolina Reaper sauce proved too hot.
Oh, Carolina,
you don't know what you're doing.
Don't know what you're doing.
Proved too hot for the chain's fans. Montgomery said, "You know this, of course. It's too hot for you. You can't really handle that spice.
Too hot to handle."
A contingent that can't get enough of Chick-fil-A's honey roasted barbecue spread has circulated an online petition to get the brand to bottle it. And some fans cried when McDonald's dropped hot mustard sauce.
Hot mustard, that's what I was going to say.
From the menus, yeah.
Well, I think they brought it back, though.
Yeah, well, they bitch, moan, and complain until they brought it back. Quote, "I haven't bought nuggets since the sauce disappeared," said Francisco Penguin Martinez.
Hot mustard was great. Oh,
a 15-year-old shipping clerk from Chicago. Bullshit job. The sentiment is shared by some 300 fellow members of a Facebook group called, quote, "Bring Back Hot Mustard Sauce McDonald's."
Well, I know what I'm joining after this.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being an active participant and Bring Back Hot Mustard Sauce McDonald's?
The Facebook group.
Get a life.
Yeah, that's brutal. But hot mustard was a great sauce. I go to this when I go to work. I get a lunch break. They're grateful. They're gracious enough to give me a lunch break.
Wow. You don't have to unionize.
No, I don't have to unionize.
Yeah.
There's a place called Urban Space. It's like a bunch of restaurants and it's kind of like a food hall, a food court.
Sure.
But there's a great chicken place that I was going to probably too often. Fried chicken.
Honest.
Yeah. But they had a bunch of sauces, and until this week, you could pick as many sauces as you want. Now I would go two. Two's enough.
Two's enough.
But
you don't need a whole fucking...
No, they had 7. You could pick up to 17 sauces for free.
Yeah.
This week, they charge for any sauce now $1.50.
Oh, they're coming down hard.
They're $1.50.
Oh my God, $1.50?
Yeah.
Went from all you can eat sauce to $1.50 per.
Yeah.
Wow, they go, guys, we're lost in the sauce. This is out of control.
Yeah, so I fucking opened up my fucking Coca-Cola. I threw it in the
Yeah, you throw it in the cashier's face?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It's bullshit. $1.50? $1.50. $1.50? $1.50. Just staring at you covered, drenched in Coca-Cola. Christine Muscat, a 35-year-old project manager, bullshit job, from Ferndale, Michigan, is a longtime ranch dressing diehard who enjoys saucier mashups such as Hidden Valley's ranch with buffalo sauce. She is also eager to try Hidden Valley Ranch's ranch with even more ranch, launched in November as
Is that real?
As quote, double ranch.
Double ranch?
How can you make ranch have more ranch?
Make this ranchier.
It's already 100% ranch. You can't make it more ranch.
That's great. That's insane.
I guess you add more of the spice, but then it's not ranch. It's something else.
Yeah, it's something else.
Double ranch would just be more. More physically.
More.
You can't...
I don't know.
You can't create or destroy matter. You can't change ranch. This is like a Newtonian law. You can't make ranch any more ranch.
Yeah, right.
Well, this crazy bitch doesn't know where to stop. So deep and all. That might seem a little mean, but let's see where this goes. So deep is Muscat's regard for ranch that there was talk of a ranch fountain at her wedding.
Good God.
One problem, the groom. Quote, it's a wedding, said her husband. Muscat's husband, quote, it's a little gross to have ranch pouring out everywhere.
Yeah. Well, this sounds like a relationship that's going to fail.
Yeah. I want a ranch fountain because I don't know if you knew this. I'm white trash.
Good Lord.
You're marrying a complete piece of garbage.
Jeez. Now, I love ranch as much as the next Midwesterner.
I gotta admit,
you're not a ranch guy.
I used to be, but it makes everything taste like ranch. You did pizza and ranch. Now you're eating a ranch flavored triangle.
Yeah, it's sort of it's used as a ranch delivery system.
It's a ranch delivery system.
Now, what about buffalo wings? You go blue cheese.
I prefer if there's a nice blue cheese. Oh man, there's a buffalo chicken wing place in Kansas City, one of the greatest in the world.
Really?
But they've got this blue cheese sauce.
Yeah.
That is perfect.
Really?
The problem is no one can make a good blue cheese sauce, but if you do it correctly, it is the correct thing to adorn the chicken wing with.
I've changed my tune on blue cheese since I moved to the city. Because New York, you order ranch, they look at you like you're a fucking dirty pig.
Yeah. And they're right.
They kind of are, but I do. You can't. It's hard. You can
You're from Indiana.
You can take the boy out of Indiana. You can't take the Indiana out of the boy.
Exactly.
You know, I love ranch.
Right.
But blue cheese is good as well. Now, I wouldn't have either a fountain of either at my wedding.
No.
God forbid.
Well, the blue cheese would be crumbs flying out everywhere. It'd be a mess.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be an absolute nightmare. Yeah.
It'd be a mess. But, well, anyway, the nation is it's lost in the sauce. It's lost in the inflation.
Yeah.
The only children are...
We should go back... we should go back to having 3 options for everything, I think. I think that would solve a lot of our problems.
3 options for everything, 1 option for president. Every year, there's just one guy. You go, who you want to vote for?
It's me or nobody.
Yeah.
Take your fucking pick.
Yeah, no argument. No debate this year.
But, yeah.
I say no options.
No options.
No options.
You're forced.
Yeah. Like like North Korea.
Yeah.
There's just No. It's the land of freedom. It's the land of options.
Free, the home of the brave.
But sometimes, this beloved country, we get too carried away with our ideals.
Carried away.
We have 1,900 sauces.
Yeah.
And every just build your own sauce dispenser.
Right.
And what do? We realize it's not sustainable, and then we got to crack down on everybody and charge them an arm and a leg for it.
Yeah.
But such is the ebb and flow of the American economy.
That's true, my friend.
That's right. Well, that's been it from us today on the Echo Chamber podcast.
That is true. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, rate, review. We got a review on iTunes.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was a nice review. They said, these guys don't miss.
They don't miss.
Check it out. They said.
All right. Well, keep tuning in. Tell your friends. If you like it, the odds are your friends will like it too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would you be friends anyway?
Exactly.
So turn them onto the pod. Thank you guys for listening.
And as always, this is Trent Mabry signing out.
And this is Joe signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.